What's going on, guys? Back at you with another football YouTube video. But before I get into it, let me give shout out to Casino for Life. Welcome to HDI ITV. Kwame Brown Best Life. South Top. Who did it this time? Scrub Zero and go check the Autos channel if you haven't already. On the sports side, shout out to my guys at Let's Talk. Jess, my guy. Brandon at the Hawksnest. My guy SB. Hawk 42. Caps like crazy. But it's still I love the 12-man Fan Jeff show if you're looking for more Seahawks content. If you're looking for music, check out my guys AJ Graves, who's more of an R&B type guy, and if you're looking for our types of music, check out my guy King Magnus Music, all one word. I still need to listen to his music, but that's another story. And if you're looking for a relationship podcast, check out my guy Jason and his wife and the Loveology podcast. Now with that being said, let's get into the video. I'm happy but sad to make this video at the same time because the person talking about should still be here with us, and that is the late great football player Sean Taylor, who played for the then Washington Redskins, now Washington football team. I'll still call them the Redskins until they get a new name, not to be offensive if anyone takes offense to that name. I'm sorry, I guess, but not really, because I didn't know what a Redskin was until I really was until I was in high school. I just thought a Redskin was a football team, my mistake. But anyway, Sean Taylor, football player, out of Florida, went to the University of Miami, had great seasons with the youth. Won a national championship. Should have won two. Got cheated out of a second one, but let me not get into that. The defense carried both the University of Miami teams to the championship game with John Vilma and Sean Taylor and a bunch of future NFL players. I even think Jeremy Shockey was on one of those teams as on offense playing tight end, but I know Clint Ford is a teammate of Sean Taylor, was on that team as well, who is went down that road after he retired. I might do a video about that another day, but it's all about Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was a guy who said, I don't give a... You know what? Oh, what the hell? I just say, I don't give a fuck. Tell me anything. Sean Taylor walked out of the players, the rookie player symposium just because he could. Because he didn't want to hear the BS that people were going to say about this is what you need to do when you come into the NFL, this and that. He was going to do things his own way, and he did that on and off the field. He was a hitter, one of the biggest hitters I've ever seen, right next to Brian Dawkins, Cam Chancellor, and even, who else? I'll say Steve Atwater, who played for the Broncos back in the 90s when people were allowed to hit. Not so much anymore. Let me not get started on that. Now, while he had money, he never forgot where he came from, and that rubbed people the wrong way, including guys like Michael Wilbon. Now, I'll get into that in a second. I believe he got into off-the-field issues for a couple of things, such as the people he hung around with, but that's what happens when you don't forget where you come from. I think one of them was for literally not wearing a helmet on an ATV, so they would just, the media would just get at him for any little thing. I think there was something a little more serious than that, but I can't remember right now. But anyway, in the mid-2000s, he had just signed a contract extension with the, I'll be nice and say, Washington football team. They had just had his sister's birthday party, I believe, and then that's when all went bad. Some kids he was helping got hired to I believe it would be a waiter, be part of the staff for the party. Somebody correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but anyway. These kids he was helping, he was giving money to, they decided to try to rob the house, not knowing he was home. He had his fiance and 3-month-old daughter in the room with it. He heard the noise, he got up, he grabbed his machete, And they had guns and they started shooting. One hit an artist in his groin, and unfortunately, he died from that. Or in his thigh, I should say. His thigh is groin. Somewhere in that area, unfortunately, and he died from that gunshot wound, unfortunately. Now, I brought up Michael Wilbon earlier, and this is what makes me mad about people like Michael Wilbon and Steven Sellout Smith. Now, instead of saying Michael Wilbon at the time still wrote for the Washington Post. And instead of saying, oh, what a loss, this, that, and the other, I'm like, condolences to family. He says, this is what happens when you don't leave. When you don't change your environment. Now, is that a true fact? Somewhat, but Sean Taylor was a real leader on and off the field. Such as Nipsey Hussle, he wanted. From Crenshaw, rest in peace, to both of them. They wanted to lead on and off. They wanted to, Nipsey wanted to lead in music and in his community. Sean Taylor wanted to lead on the field and in his community. They didn't want to leave, and unfortunately, amen. And their untimely demise because of it. Now, it was announced just today that the Washington football team will retire his number Sunday. I'm happy for that, but I'm not at the same time for a couple reasons. They could have announced it before 3 days before the game. They could have announced it during the preseason and had a sellout because Sean Taylor is one of the greatest defensive players in the Washington football team history. No one can tell me otherwise. And two, it upsets me that he's not here to see his number retired himself. Well, not. It just saddens me. As a matter of fact, I wore number 21 in high school as my baseball number for 2 reasons. One, I couldn't have the number I wanted, which was 22, because it had to be passed down to you, so I had to pick another number, and I picked the number of a great leader, and that was 21 for Sean Taylor, and yeah. And then I passed it down to a JV player when I retired. I mean, once I left high school, excuse me. I'm talking like I actually played, on the team. No, I was still part of the team, but never played, unfortunately. And you can see why, but Sean Taylor, thank you for being one of the greatest safeties of my generation, and rest in peace. And I'm sure your daughter who is at this point a teenager will be there to represent you when they retire on Sunday. So with that being said, until the next video, God first, God bless, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and until the next one, I'm out. Peace. Chantilly, rest in